right? So yeah, so we are starting a new initiative in Aarohi, which is around getting internship opportunities for the Aarohi teens to begin with, and then later on we will expand, and more people in the Aarohi community, be it adults, your parents, somebody who wants to explore different fields, they can also do internship, right? So now I think you guys would already be aware of internship, but can you describe in your own words what is an internship? Can somebody describe?
For me, internship is basically going and learning and honing your skills under somebody, and learning all the skills needed to excel in your field, and kind
Mm-hmm.
of the connections and all the things that you need to know about the field. You go get a mentor
Mm-hmm.
and you do that. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, in movies and stuff, there's always a hero and they need to go get a master. It's the same,
Mm-hmm.
but here you want a job and you don't want
Mm-hmm.
to save the world. You just want to save yourself.
Okay, so let's say saying that internship is close to coaching slash mentoring, because there will be somebody to guide you to learn the skills that you want to learn, right? Okay, so that is one thing. But there are also a few things that are different between coaching and internship. Probably somebody want to
I
share their
mean,
perspective.
for me, internship is like getting experience on like what you want to do. Like getting some prior experience by someone, like as she said, a person or like a teacher, a friend also like that. Like holding the experience.
Okay, get the experience. Okay.
I would say it's like basically you just work, you work like a normal person, but you don't get money. You're just working because you want to know what you will need when you want to better your job.
Okay. Okay. That's Krishav's perspective. We have more people on this call with the videos off, so I don't even know if you're there in the call. So please turn on the video. We'll have it interactive, because this is the opportunity for you guys, right?
So I think internship is an experience in the environment of the in an environment that we need for learning. And we can learn by observing, involving, not just like not I don't think it's like someone teaches you something and you learn from it. I think it's by observing, by doing, and also by asking questions that one learns in an internship. So
Great.
it's basically experience in a particular environment.
Yeah. That's pretty close, I feel. Yeah, good description, Shreya. Anybody else wants to share their understanding of what internship is? Okay, so I can also give my perspective on what kind of internship we want to hunt for the Aarohi community, right? So what is internship? Internship is slightly different from coaching and mentoring. So let's say if Sumedh, loves cooking, Krishav loves to do digital art, right? So if Sumedh is passionate about this field and he wants to get better, he would go to a coach. Maybe he would pay the coach some amount of money so that the coach can teach him how to cook. So he would go to a baker, and the baker would have a very structured course, and they would teach how to cook and all that stuff, and there'll be classes. Even if there are no classes, the coach can be a mentor who can walk alongside Sumedh, in his own journey, and give inputs and help him connect with the restaurant, probably. So that's all coaching. The way internship is slightly different is that in internship there's no teacher. Internship is, as Shreya and Krishav said, that it's an environment where people expect you to work. They expect that you have already learned. You have already learned. So let's say if Sumedh wants to do an internship in restaurant, he would join restaurant from day one. They would expect him to work and not ask questions how to cook that, how to cook this. Because in the internship, just like a job, it's like a job. It's like one stage before the job, where they would expect Sumedh to already know basic skills on how to chop, how to prepare Indian cuisine, how to prepare Italian cuisine. But maybe every restaurant has different process, like they would have different kitchen management, so maybe they can do a basic orientation so that you know how to work in their setup, but they would not essentially teach you how to bake. They would expect you to know how to bake. So every internship has an interview process, just like every job has an interview process, right? Who's the teacher? Now if Sumit wants to join and learn in his internship, he would need to have some basic skill set before joining the internship, right? But in the internship itself, he learns a lot. Who's the teacher there? There's no real teacher. There's a project manager whose job is to make sure that if Sumit is being hired for an internship being like a job, they will also pay you if they're expecting work to be done. You'll be doing actual work, right? And the company wherever you are interning will be making money out of your work, right? So they will also pay you. It would not be as much as the salary of your parents, but it would not be too little either, right? It would be good enough for you guys. Maybe 10,000 for 1 month, or maybe for 3 months, 10,000, in that. So there's a project manager whose job is to make sure that you do the work. It's not a picnic over there. You have to do the work. That's what they're paying you, right? And if you get stuck somewhere, then you will do your own research on internet. You learn about things. You will ask the colleagues in that workspace that I'm stuck here. Can you tell me how to do that? And in that asking and doing and researching, you will learn. You'll end up learning a lot of stuff. Just much more beyond the skill. If Sumit is joining an internship in a restaurant, he will learn cooking for sure, right? But he will also learn how to talk with people. How to talk with people at different levels. And he will also learn about finance, because he will be seeing so many departments. Out of curiosity, he will go in and check with them. He'll be building network. Maybe he joins a restaurant, let's say somewhere in South, in Chennai. He would learn how to travel alone. He would learn how to look after his accommodation. He would learn how to manage his finances. So there's so much of learning that happens in an internship that is beyond just your main skill set that you would have learned under a coach, right? So main takeaway: internship is like a mini job. It's like a mini job. You join a company, you get paid for it. And they expect you to do the work and already bring some skills to the table before joining. Right? Did that kind of match your understanding also of internship?
Yes, it did. Yeah.
Yeah, it matched. Okay, great. Internship is also called as apprenticeship, right? Internship. Yeah, fancy word, right? I did my first internship, when I was in college, third year. And I think I should have chosen a local internship, but where I got my first internship? In Germany. That was the first time I traveled in a flight, That's the first time I was in a country where nobody understood my language. Nobody, of course, understands Hindi, but none of them understand even English. And I went to the company, they gave me a keys. They said, go to this particular address. I had to find that house, and I just could not open that door lock because the locks apparently work differently in Germany. And I had to figure so many things out. It was such a drastic change for me. But I can tell that I learned a lot from this whole internship experience, that no book or no single teacher can teach you. The biggest teacher is the experience itself, right? So that's what we are trying to do. That, at least connect you with the internship opportunity, but at the same time will not make it easy for you, right? You would have to earn that internship, which means that I can only tell, there'll be a core working group within Aarohi, and their main job is to find internship opportunities by talking to different companies about what their requirements are, what kind of projects they need some help, what kind of skill set they need, because some companies would need some help with their social media marketing. Some companies would need help with their website building, for example. Some companies would need some help with the accounting, maybe with their photography, so different companies have different areas where they need the help, So there will be a team within Aarohi, maybe 5-6 people, who will be responsible for researching about these companies, getting their requirements and listing them down in an Excel sheet, so that whoever wants internship, they know, what is the company, what is the project that they want help in, what kind of skill set they need, what kind of expertise they need in the person who wants to join for internship, for what time duration they are looking for help, and how much are they willing to pay, where that internship opportunity is that in Mumbai, is that in Bangalore, right, and all that stuff. So we'll only provide that kind of information. But if you want to get an internship, no, if it's to be, it has to be, from you, right? So if you want to get that internship, you will have to then prepare yourself, right? Which means that learn all those skill set. So there also we can help, the whatever the core group is, which is finding the internship opportunities. They can also support you if you want to learn those skill set before applying for internship, right? So let's say if some company wants to revamp its website. So I also interned for a few NGOs who wanted to revamp their website and capture all the work that they're doing in a nice way in that website. So if you want to do a project like that, you would know how to work with a website, how to build a website, how to maintain a website and all that stuff, right? So that's a new skill set. And there are few resources on the internet you can learn yourself, or somebody can guide, in the Aarohi community. That's what we do for each other, right? So any questions till this point? Any comments, thoughts?
I would say that one thing, I don't think at our age many internships would really pay you to work. But
okay. How important is the money at this stage?
So that's what I'm saying, that if you think the money is important, try something.
Correct.
But Kishan, not true that it's not actually to do with the age. It's to do with the skills which you show. And we ourselves, at the same age, that girl who did a 2-month internship with us long back in Bangalore, we were running all these summer programs and all, and we needed someone who can just talk to parents and give a basic information about our program. So we just kept her, and she wanted ki I'm getting bored at home, my 10th exams are over, nothing else to do, just give me some work kind of thing, otherwise I'm going mad and all that. It was not an internet boom at that time, so maybe luckily she was going mad at that time. So good. So she came, and actually, believe me, Krishi, she did such a wonderful job. We said, how can we not pay her? She was working as I was working. Within a week, she took over all my things, the way I speak, the way I give, even more than me would take care of the parents' inquiries. And sometimes these inquiries are just repetitive inquiries, and the person will keep on asking. But this girl and by the end of the 2 months, we actually offered a real job. We said she was going for some of these BA, BCom kind of a thing. So we said, we literally pulled it, bribed her. Why are you going? We'll give you a job here only. You'll get the money. What else do you need? And all those kind of a thing. So this is not a very fantasy story. This is a real story which happened with us only. I was not confident at that age, 14. I would actually look at the newspaper where the 10th fail, what kind of jobs can I get? So if I fail in 10th, what kind of job can I get when after? So I was not so confident, but meeting this girl was such a brilliant, that these are also possibilities. So I think it's not to do with the age. It's maybe what Atul was saying, the skills and which you will show, and that's exactly, Atul, we are going to talk about that. While you are doing a lot of interest development and working on your thing, what are the other things which you can focus to develop as a life, whatever you call it, life skill, doing skill, working skills and all that? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's totally true. I think the value that one brings to a company, that does not depend too much on the age. Sometimes I feel that value decreases with age. If you look at some of the senior directors in a company, they're so much bound into thinking in a particular way that they can't really think out of the box. And that's why company needs new hires. That's why they take college graduates into the company, because they bring in fresh perspective and they bring in fresh energy. They question everything, right? So there's definitely a value add. Now the company can also pay for that. So there will be some internship opportunities with stipend to it. There might be some without stipend. But that is that is right now, that is really does not really matter, you know. What really matters is that is your own learning, right? You join a company, you learn few skills from your peers, and also you also learn to travel and live in a place all by yourself, you know, and making friends on your own, networking with people. So that's what really matters. If you get paid for that, that's like a cherry on the cake, isn't it? Right? So great. So one more thing, for the internship, right? It might be quite possible that your area of interest, let's say if Krishav is into digital arts, right? The company where you find the opportunity might not be into digital arts, right? Right. So it's quite possible that your area of interest might not clearly align with the company, because maybe some studio, some graphic design studio might not be even looking for an intern, or right. So the internship can be generic also, right? Because when we're trying to find internship opportunities, we're trying to find opportunities in good numbers, which would mean that we have to go after generic companies also. Now, these companies would be requiring help in a generic project, but those skill sets might still align with your interest. For example, a company wants somebody to design, let's say, e-flyers or posters for their social media campaigns, right? So if you have interest into graphic designing, that can still align with that company, even though that company is into, let's say, steel manufacturing or something else, you know, something very generic that you're not very distant, you know, from interest. So you should focus on what kind of skill set they need help with, that you can learn right now, which is adjacent to your interest, right? Somebody who has good aesthetic sense, wants to be an artist, maybe graphic designing is a good interest to have, right? Somebody who loves, let's say marketing, or let's say somebody who loves event management, probably marketing is a good way, you know, to join an internship which needs marketing skills, social media skills, you know. Like somebody who wants to get into programming, there are a lot of good programming internship opportunities, but even if a company who needs help with website development, that also is an adjacent skill set that you can learn, right? So that is one thing that I want to say, that maybe Sumesh would not get an internship in a restaurant through this initiative. Maybe he can, who knows, right? But there's a good opportunity that Sumit can join some other company where maybe he learns about accounting that can eventually help him in running his own restaurant, right? Maybe he can learn about marketing that helps him popularize his own restaurant
So,
later on.
It can be like something added more to your original thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So your passion is there. If you get an internship aligned to your passion, that's great, right? But even if the internship does not really align with your passion, is not in the same domain as your passion, but it will always complement your passion, right? Because if you want to run a restaurant somewhere, you would need to have so many skill sets, right? You would want to build a website for the restaurant, you want to do social media marketing for the restaurant, you would need to know how to do accounting, you would need to know how to do a lot of other stuff, right? So that is one thing that I want to say. Another thing is that sometimes, you know, even when the skill sets don't really align with even your interest, like sometimes you just learn skill set for the financial sustainability, right? So like I know that Shaunak is interested in cricketing, right? So if Shaunak is interested into cricket, maybe he does not need to know accounting, right? But if he's getting that internship opportunity, that helps him learn a skill set that will give him a revenue source, you know, a source of income. Because sometimes, like in cricket, you would not strike the gold pot at the age of 20. You have to keep on trying, you know, maybe at 25, maybe at 30, right? But then parents start getting nervous. Why is my kid not earning, right? What if you have a basic knowledge of website building or accounting on the side, and you can do a bit of freelancing that can give you maybe 30,000 rupees every month by working just 2 to 4 hours a day, you know? So maybe that's again where the internship can help you, right? So that's one thing. Any comments so far before we get into more details? Okay, great.
Yeah, I want to add, Atul, is that the first point which you were talking about is often we talk about internship, that will that add value to my interest or not. So my selection and rejection process is that, oh, this is not related to cooking, or this is not related to paint or whatever, movie making or digital drawing. I might be rejecting that internship. But if I look at it, okay, what if in the month of May, all of you go and work in a supermarket for a month. Okay, irrespective of what interest you are in. Yeah. And then try to ask yourself question, or maybe observe people who are working in supermarkets. What kind of skills are they developing? What kind of skills they are? These skills you will never get sitting in home. Yeah. So yeah, so consider the experiences as soon as you are legally allowed, say after 14 years of age. That's the legal age, and consider kind of a thing. And then it's like one of the child was doing internship in actually a supermarket, and his job was to look into all those packaging and all kind of thing. He realized that the customers, when they come, they ask the similar questions at the counter. So he offered, and he was exposed to making posters at Aarohi. He said, why don't we make poster? And he actually made handmade poster. That time again there was no Canva kind of a thing. So he made it, and he said, that changed the way my owner was looking at me, that this guy is beyond just what the work has been given to him. So I'm there with Atul. The second point, that you can all exhibit all your skills as well as just go ahead and then get the experience. Atul,
yeah. And you know what? You'll be surprised that once you get into some of these internships, you would realize that your passion lies somewhere else. But this whole life journey is to get closer to your passion. Something that the God has made you for, and it's through these experiences that you really get closer. Maybe Sumit thinks that his passion is cooking. Maybe after he works in a travel agency to build their website or do their marketing, maybe he would know that maybe traveling is his passion. And who knows? We should be open towards that also. Okay, so now. So after having kind of discussed how the internship can be helpful for you guys, I want to get your feedback on some things, some plan that we have for the internship, like what kind of internship we would look for, when we reach out to all these companies. So the first question is that should we look out for internships which are local to your city, or are you guys open to traveling to a different city and living there? Of course, there will be people to support you, in finding accommodation, but living all by yourself. What is your take, and what is your parents' take on this? What do you think your parents' take would be on this?
I was actually looking for like several internships, like I was just randomly, like casually researching about it. And then I found out that my constraint is that I have many other stuff to attend to. So I cannot go to another city because I have lots more priorities to attend to in my home locality place.
Okay. And so do you mean, like, when you say priority, you mean like your gymnastic class and your baking?
Baking, not so much. I can do that anywhere. But then like gymnastics, if I have to spend like 4 hours a day, then the only center which is near me is this center which I'm going to.
But what if, let's say, you get an internship in Mumbai? You live in Chennai right now. You get an internship in Mumbai. You can find a gymnastics center there also, right? Maybe you get in touch with more coaches and more centers, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that a way? Yeah. Okay. We can. So your first preference is Chennai because you already know an academy there. Things are pretty much laid out. But if you get an opportunity elsewhere, there's a way that you can make the gymnastics work there also, I feel. It depends on. Okay. What about others? Are you guys okay with traveling?
I would prefer both.
Traveling, but I'm not sure what my parents think. So that's the only problem.
I am 100% okay with traveling anyways. I'm not.
I mean, preferably local, like my say. My parents are okay with me traveling as well, but like I have a lot of connections, and I go to play volleyball. So and I'm not looking for internship at the moment. I have lots of other things going on as well. So maybe say in August or maybe in September. At that, because now I'm a bit caught up with a lot of things to do. So maybe not currently, and it will be in Mumbai as well.
Got it.
My take is that it's fine either non-local or local too. I prefer going out other than AP and Telangana, but my parents are not very into it, so anything can work.
Okay. Okay. Now, if your parents know, like some of you said that you're fine with traveling, I think Lakshya said, but maybe parents not sure what they feel about it. Shreya said parents not sure what they feel about it. I feel if so that's where the community comes in. If so, Aarohi is a big community, right? And the families live in different cities. Some family can say that I'm going to host your child. I'm going to look after your child when he or she is in that city. So maybe that will make the parents feel better, right?
Yeah.
And for those of us who are living in big city like Mumbai, Sumedh, Mumbai, I think there will be enough opportunities in Mumbai itself. But Mumbai itself is so big that's like two different cities, right? If you get an internship on the other corner of Mumbai, it's like outstation travel for you.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And in my case too, I live at the very edge of Mumbai, so it's like very far for me to go anywhere.
Okay. Right. So there are three levels. First is the online internship where you don't even have to step out of your home, right? The second is local internship, and the third one is outstation internship, right, where you can travel and live, right? In terms of learning opportunity, I think you guys can guess it. The third one has the most learning opportunity. The first one has less. Even the first one, you don't meet people in real, right? There's an online one, so you don't even form connections with people, right? So, but of course, comfort is more in the first one. So we have to take that call. I'm inclined towards being open to the outstation internships, right? So we'll list down the internship, and then you guys can choose. If you're fine with traveling, you guys can choose to work in another city. If you're fine only with Mumbai, you can choose stick to Mumbai, right? So that is there. Second thing that I want to ask is, would you be open to internship opportunities throughout the year or only to a particular time? Like, do you guys have other commitments during the year during which you can't travel or can't do internship?
Yeah, I'm packed till May or starting of the June because my 12th exams will be going around May, June. After that, I'm open to go to internships.
Okay. What about you, the rest of the guys?
I'm free all around because most of my commitments are finished or they can be pushed aside. So I'm free all year round.
Okay.
I'm free after July.
Okay. June, July time frame. Okay.
I'm mostly free all year. I'm not very sure.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So basically what you're saying is that we don't have a specific time preference. So typically some companies only offer internship projects during the summer break in the college. So the school going folks don't go for internship because students, but the college guys, they go for internship. Even I got my Germany internship when I was in college during the break. But there are many companies who, so we'll be open for these companies who only offer internship during the summer break or the winter break. But also there are companies who have the requirement around the year, right? So we'll also be open to those companies. So there you will have less competition in getting in because other people don't apply around the year, right? So we'll be open to that as well. Now tell me, what about money? Do you want money? Like, is that deal breaker? You guys are okay without money?
Without money, I'm okay. But
I'm grateful for the experience. So
without money is also fine.
Sense I'm fine working.
Okay. So without money should be fine. Krishna, you were saying something in between?
Yes, I'm saying that without money is okay, but obviously if you're getting money, why would you?
Yeah, plus one question. Plus.
Okay, great. So money is optional. So that will not be a criteria that if the company is not giving stipend, we would still get that internship opportunity, right? Stipend is that money that they give, right? Okay, so in terms of the next question is about the skill set, so I kind of looked at the internship opportunities that most companies offer, in my circle and like where my friends work. And also I see a lot of internship opportunities posted by NGOs. I've followed few NGOs on Facebook, so I see the internship opportunities. So the common skill sets where they need internees I'm going to paste those skill set in the Zoom chat right now. Website building is where some of the internship opportunities are. Graphics designing, like designing the poster, e-flyers to be posted on the social media, right? Instagram and all that stuff. Digital marketing, which means, so social media marketing also comes under digital marketing. Digital marketing ke andar you have website, you have social media, you also have search engine, right? Search engine optimization, which means using the right keywords on your website so that when somebody search, I want to buy cake, your bakery website comes to the top in the search result, right? So that's called search engine optimization. Digital marketing is also about running podcasts and all that stuff. So digital marketing is a pretty wide field, right? So that's where also some companies need help. Sponsorship and funding. This is mostly required by NGOs. Like most of the NGOs, they work on grants and donations. So they're always looking for corporate partners, like other companies who can donate money. So they need internees who can go to the companies and pitch about the NGO that this is the good work that the NGO is doing. Can we have some money, as donation to the NGO? So that's sponsorship and funding. Creative writing. Creative writing is that, let's say you work for a company, the company wants to have a nice write-up on their website or a nice write-up in their social media post. Maybe some NGO wants a nice write-up that can be pitched to the corporate for donation. So all of that is creative writing, right? So anybody who's good with literature and all that stuff, creative writing is good for them. Photography and shooting. Some companies, NGOs would want you to go to their sites and take nice photos of all the work they're doing. Some companies who manufactures motorbikes, they would want you to take a nice photo of your bikes in different outdoor situations, right? So that's photography and shooting. Media editing is a step that happens after shooting. Let's say you shoot with your camera, then you want to make a nice short film or a teaser out of that. That's media editing. Even image editing comes under that. Accounting and event management and operations. Operations is very generic, you need help in project managing people, in running around, doing stuff. That's all comes under operations and event management. So these are the skill set. Now think about your current passion and see which of these skill sets would help you, build up on your passion. Let's say if Sumit wants to start a restaurant, he's passionate about cooking. I think all of these skill sets would help you, right? So even if you get an internship in a company like who manufactures, let's say a software, and learn all these skill sets, that's going to help you there also. Right? Now, okay, can you guys tell me which of these skill sets are you good at currently? What's your level? Let's say out of 10, can you give yourself a rating for your topmost skill in this skill set? Starting with Lakshita. What's your top?
So for me, creative writing, I'm about at level 7 because I can write well. I have some problems and some mistakes around it, but if you give me a prompt, then I can write well. And then event management and operations, I am also around 7 on that because I have some problems in communications. I get anxious or nervous, but other than that, I get the job done. And sponsorships and funding, I'm good at that. I'm good at pitching stuff and getting it done. So I'm about at level 8 to 9 on that.
Got it.
Photography and shooting and media editing, I'm about level 3 or 4 because I'm still learning and it's a recent interest. I didn't get time to work on it. Now I have all the time in the world, so I'm working on it currently.
Got it. So that's a great summary, Lakshita. So and I would not remember whatever you said, after tomorrow. So what we can do is that each of us can do this exercise. I will share an Excel sheet where you will have all these skill set, and you guys can rate yourself in that shared Excel sheet.
Yeah.
Right. That way, you guys can decide what skill set you want to do internship in. So choose a skill set where you're already good. Right. For example, Lakshita, for her, she said creative writing she is good at, and a couple of other things. Photography is something that she's learning. So probably photography, Lakshita, you should not select if you want an internship in short term. But if you're willing to wait for another year till you upgrade yourself on photography, then probably that will open up for you, right? So So I want you guys to choose what skill set you're pretty good at. Maybe anything more than 7 is something that you're good at. Then we will find the internship opportunities which need similar kind of skill sets so that you can be placed there, right? So let's do that exercise. And along with rating yourself, you should also write what else do you plan to do to improve in that skill set further. Because internship opportunity might be, let's say, 2 months away. You can probably develop yourself further, right? So let's do that exercise. I'll share the Excel sheet with you guys. Another question is that what kind of companies do you want to work for? So all kind of companies offer internship. There are a few companies like NGOs who are doing great, meaningful work, and there are a few companies who are just doing pure commercial. Let's say selling clothes, or maybe some companies into fashion, and some companies are maybe selling something which is very generic and commercial. Any specific preference?
What do you mean by commercial?
Commercial is like these companies are purely for profit. NGOs want to do meaningful work. They want the society to benefit out of their work. And in NGOs, the people who run the NGOs don't fill their pockets. They only draw salary to keep their homes running. But the founders or the founders of the NGO don't make profit. They would never have crores of rupees from this NGO, right? But in a company, the main purpose of the company is to make profit, right? So the owners of the company would take away most of the thing, and the employees will just make the salary. And if it's purely for profit, it would not really bother if it's doing great thing for the society. So for example, McDonald's would make good profit, maybe at the cost of spoiling the health of people. So that's purely profit. So do you guys have any specific? So in terms of learning skill set, maybe it does not really matter. But do you guys at a value level, do you guys have a specific preference?
I feel like for first time opportunities, maybe NGO would be better because they're not looking purely for profit. So there might be more room for mistakes.
Yeah, good point.
But I think that I'm open to both commercial and NGOs, because commercial NGOs, they're not really looking for big profits and, like big reward. And so you get, as Shrishti said, there's more space for mistakes and more space for learning in that sense. In commercials, you get to form networks, you get lots of networking, and then you run on tight schedules. So you experience working in a very tight-knit space, and you also get to learn from that. So in the end, if you end up working for a company, or you start your own thing, you already know what to do, how it works, how it feels to work under that sort of pressure.
Got it. That's a very good point. Maybe you can start off with NGO, learn, and then if you want to learn to work under deadlines, maybe the next time you join a commercial company, which have a lot more expectations from you, right? So
I would think that the NGO point is good, but if I'm getting a better, I think the value is more in terms of learning or whatever. So I would join the commercial wala also.
Okay. So the main takeaway for me is that we should be open to both. We'll get both the internship opportunities, and then you guys can choose whichever you want, right? Okay. We're already running over time, but I'll take 2 more minutes on. Just give me a second. Yeah. So last question is that for this internship, for this initiative, we'll be forming a core group, which will be focusing on researching on companies, talking to them, understanding, and maintaining that shared Excel sheet where we will be listing down all the internship opportunities which are live, right? And also helping people who want to apply for internship, also helping them upskill so that they can qualify for the interview process and all that stuff, right? Now, this would require about maybe 4 or 5 hours a week of time, right? So, and I'm looking to get most of the volunteers for this group, for this working group, from the parents. But if any of you guys are interested in working as part of this core working group, you can let me know. Okay. Otherwise, I will take the parents' help also.
Could you repeat the last part? Disturbances.
Yeah. So I was saying that for this initiative, they will be forming a core group of 4 to or maybe 5 to 6 people whose main job would be to research about companies and prepare a directory, so to say, of the internship opportunities and keep it updated. Sometimes the company would have a requirement now, but 3 months later they would not have the requirement, right? So keep it updated and also help the Aarohi teams in upskilling themselves in preparing for the interviews and reaching out to the companies and all that stuff, right? So there will be a team that will be forming, right? Most of the people in this team would be parents because they have experience in dealing with the companies. But if any of you guys want to also participate in that co-working group, you can let me know. I'll have room for you guys also. But it will demand time. It will take about 4 to 5 hours a week, so go in with that expectation. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you guys excited about this initiative?
Yeah.
Show me some smiling faces. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a thumbs up if you feel excited. I'm excited about this. Okay, great. Okay. So great. Yeah, thanks for giving the feedback.
Yeah.
I will post on the Teams channel, about the progress of this initiative. Next week, I plan to have a similar kind of meeting with the parents and see who all are willing to work in this core working group. Okay. Great. Okay.
Okay. Then.
Great, guys. Take care. We'll talk soon again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay. Aditi.
Yeah, anything?
Sorry, I forgot to ask you to wrap it up. If you had any
Okay,
comments in
no
the end.
issue. No issue. I've already posted in Teen Club. So
Okay.
we'll take it forward there.
Okay, great.
Okay, let's
Thank you.
move. That's just the beginning. So there is nothing to wrap up.
Okay.
Yeah, nice
Okay.
beginning. Yeah, chalo.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Aditi.
Bye,
Talk to you
bye.
soon. Bye.